So the next question is for, again, for all of our panelists. And it goes, at what stage do you think women are most likely to experience challenges when accelerating their careers? And how do you recommend that women overcome these challenges?
When they go on maternity leave, at least from my perspective.
Sorry, share more.
Can you repeat that?
So when women usually tend to go on maternity leaves, I think that's
I've just recently discovered that
that's
actually.
the most challenging.
If you had asked me this question maybe 3 weeks ago, I would have said maybe entering or when you get to the top of your career. But I've heard some scary stories on the Slack account of what people's experiences. Thinking this really happens. You know, I thought it'd be like in a terrible movie sort of thing. But yeah, so now I would say when people go on, or approaching the age of potential what people may think of maternity leave, but I actually see that as a plus because not because they're going away, but because with our, with modern technology moving forward, using more microservices and mixing technologies, we're trying to make everything as small as possible, trying to finish it in half a day. I think if someone's on maternity leave and they want to work 2 hours a week, why can't they do code reviews? And it's great because they know the project, or they don't know the project. It's a benefit, right? Because if you're code reviewing someone's code and you're part of the project, you go, oh yeah, I understand that. But if someone's separate from the project and say they're looking at it from an outsider's point of view, they will question, well, what does this mean? Why have we done this? I mean, I worked on a recent government project and it was quite scary. I was team lead and they were, not because I was team lead, but when they said I was team lead in this project and they said, well, you're going to swap people in and out every couple of weeks. I was thinking, well, I'm used to having people for like 6 months or a year and you roll them. And it's actually really, really good because then you could say, well, we're going to work on this set of features next. We need this sort of person, this sort of skill set. I mean, and then we started having people code reviewing who weren't part of the project. They were doing us 2 to 4 hours a week. I don't know if women on maternity leave want to do that or not, but at least there's the opportunity on both sides, them to make a bit of money and for the project to benefit from their experience, be it on that project or from other projects, to just dip in and out and having that point of view. So I think we could take advantage of that as long as both parties are happy, obviously. But I think that's good. I think companies are becoming more open to remote working, so therefore again that opens that opportunity, I think.
But then people or organizations or businesses do feel very scared from the cost of bringing a woman in and then bringing them up to speed with the current technology movement or whatever is going on in the tech, because tech moves so fast, right? However, I think the way I look at it is when anyone goes on either maternity leave or paternity leave, whatever, look at the skills that they are learning, right? When you have kids, you have to juggle things around, right? So you have to prioritize. That means you start valuing your time more. You do not have those 15 minutes luxury of checking your Facebook account in the morning. You have to get up, check your emails, and then be ready for 7:30, pick up your kid, prep them, drop them at school, go to work, 6:30 you have to finish, be at the school, pick them up, bring them back, give them bath, and then resume.
They do say if you want something done, give it to someone busy though, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you just get it done because you won't mess around. I'll do it in a minute. Let me just check this whatever blog post. You're going to get it done.
So that's the prioritization skills that you learn when you start having kids. So that's that value that I see, right? Now, I have heard some. I was lucky. The only organization that I'm always thankful about is Goldman Sachs, because I was so lucky when I came back from my maternity leave, and for me it's not smiling here, but when I came back from maternity leave, I had such a good support with me. I think there was a moms group within Goldman. They assign you a mentor from that group who takes you through different challenges that you might see when you come back to work after maternity leave. They help you out, they answer all your questions, they ask you if you're feeling uncomfortable, if you want to change your job, if you want to have some part-time option, blah, blah, blah. But then the stories that I've been hearing from different other ladies is my manager isn't giving me opportunity because they think I'm going to go off on maternity leave soon, right? So they aren't literally letting me progress on my career ladder. One of the lady, she actually mentioned to me that the moment she sent message saying I might go on maternity leave XYZ time, she was asked that would you be able to stay and work normal hours, right? And I mean, that to me was very offending. I mean, if I had some personal situation, I would tell you, but me just telling you that I would go on maternity leave 8 months down the line doesn't mean that I can't work or I can't fulfill my normal duties. So I think that, and then usually women tends to go on maternity about 29 years old, 30 years, like that's the range, usually between 30 to 35. That's when majority of the women tend to go on maternity leaves. That's exactly the stage when you're progressing in your career, right? So you have joined the industry, you are at a stage where you really climb, like, the ladder very fast if you're very good. And at that time, taking that off for 1 year in itself is a challenging for a woman, right? Because they are sacrificing or compromising their career. Now at that time, if industry tackle it, with a in a manner saying, like, you never know, this lady is going to come back, should we invest in her? You never know, she's going to be honest for her work. I think that's just so ridiculous.
Can I just ask you a question? So I think what you're saying, it makes sense, and I do understand that. But are you just focusing just on the permanent employee kind of?
No, even the contractual.
Even the contractual ones, really?
Yeah, because sometimes, like, for example, if it snows tomorrow, right? The first responsibility that I have is to look after my son, irrespective of what my schedule is for tomorrow, even if I'm working part-time. Now, does that make me unreliable? Right, but certain businesses do consider me unreliable because who knows, I might not turn up for work tomorrow because of XYZ reason which are not in my control, but that might affect the business as well. So be it part-time, be it contract, be it full-time, permanent, right? That unreliability on me, not able to turn up tomorrow because of circumstances which are not under my control, might sometimes be unprofitable to the business. But long term, if you retain me, I'll be a better employee because the skills that I've learned being a mom are far better, and they will outperform the problems that bringing me in can cause.